Good morning, everybody. All right, so I have a question. How many of you are entrepreneurs? By raise of hands. Quite a few. Yep, I like that. Does anybody know, I'm just going to move this a little bit. Does anybody know what percentage of the US population are entrepreneurs? Guesses?
2%. 20.
Who said 10?
I said 2.
Oh, 2? Closer to 10, actually 14%. I looked that up last night, I wasn't sure, which equates to, and this is through last year, but it equates to 27 million people are entrepreneurs. So I thought that was kind of interesting because there's a lot of people out there trying to get it done on their own. And I became one of those people 4 years ago. I decided to leave the corporate ranks. I had a lifelong career there and start my own business. So that corporate run lasted 26 years. About half of it was sales, the other half was sales management, so all of it sales. But I kind of work from the theory that you go and do first, and then you move up and teach. I have one of those. My aspirations for my career have always been do the work, learn how to do it really well, and then go and help others to do it. Because I kind of, if I can pick it up, then I can help teach you to do it, then I'm more successful because you're more successful. So I work for companies corporately, some of the names you might recognize: Goodyear, Penske, Sears, Management Recruiters International, Colonial Life and Accident, and Cars.com. So a lot of big brands, a lot of marketing, a lot of things happening that made them very well known. And that has carried over, that experience that I learned through all of those years has carried over into my portrait business. I first learned by taking classes. I've taken, I think, 86 classes year to date, and I worked really hard in my business for a couple of years trying to master my craft, photographing people. And that has led to me kind of taking that next step and working with other people to help them learn how to photograph people and run their business well. But really the craft to me is about connecting with people. It's not just taking pictures, it's connecting with people. And I want to ask from a corporate perspective, how many of you have worked corporate? Anybody? Corporate? Have you worked corporate? Anybody? Raise your hand. Okay, so we got a pretty good percentage of people who have worked corporate. How many of you that work corporate felt like you were just a cog in the machine? Lots of you, pretty much everybody, I think. The wonderful thing about corporate is you get lots of great training. The not so great thing is you're easily replaceable because there's always somebody right behind you. The minute you leave, they're not leaving your position open. You just are part of the overall machine. They're going to replace you. It's just the way it is. So despite your individual contributions, which might have been great, it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, once you're gone, nothing changes. It's just somebody's new face. And to me, that's a little bit like not being seen. And that for me has translated very well into what I do. You've heard me mention I photograph women. I kind of specialize. I photograph everybody, but I specialize in women. And the reason that I photograph women in particular is a lot of women feel not seen. And when I was in my corporate life, I felt not seen. And to me, it was important I didn't feel I was living up to everything that I wanted to in my corporate life. And I wanted to change that, so I moved forward. And I know men feel this way too about not feeling seen, but today's society is a little bit harder on women. Guys are like, if we're not seen, we don't really care, we'll just make our own way. We're out there making it, we're just gonna blaze our trail and it's just gonna happen, we don't care. Women don't feel that way. So if you are a woman or you know a woman, I can tell you that at one point or another, they will feel not seen. So you can identify with someone you know or someone you are by not feeling that way. People will start to call us ma'am. That's usually the transition point. we start to recognize, why are they calling me ma'am instead of miss? Because we've maybe aged a little bit. And when we look in the mirror, we no longer see beauty. We might see beauty lost. We might see beauty changed. We might not even see beauty at all. A lot of the people that I photograph have never seen their beauty, ever. And it's kind of sad, right? Because I can find beauty in anyone, and that's why I do this. I want to show people their beauty, men, women, it doesn't matter. But I have had, I can't tell you, countless amounts of tears when people come in for the reveal of their images because they haven't connected to who they are in a really long time, if ever. And sometimes seeing that image is the first time that they see their own beauty. So that's why I do what I do. And I want them to feel seen. And when they see that picture, guess what? They do. The images I have up here, you might notice, maybe you didn't, but maybe you noticed that the top left picture is a before picture on all of them. The rest of them are the after pictures. I don't do this. I don't put the before pictures to embarrass people. Why I do it is what I was finding was that many women would look at my work and say, oh gosh, well, they're just pretty people. I don't look like that, so I can't have that. And that isn't what I want. I want them to see that no matter who they are, they're in my work. Big, small, tall, old, young, doesn't matter. I photograph everybody and I find everyone's beauty. And I want them to know that, let's see which one. There's a 75-year-old lady over there, and there's a young 20-year-old over here. All of them have seen things. The 20-year-old's a cancer survivor. She's not able to have kids anymore because she's had things done, changed her life at a very young age. The 75-year-old is also a cancer survivor. So when you have cancer, that changes who you are. And it also makes you see things that you didn't see before, but it also sometimes disconnects you from who you used to be. So that's why I do what I do. I work in transformation. So you mentioned transformation, and I do that too. Transformation was important to me because it really started with me. In that corporate life, I wasn't really fulfilled. I wasn't really connecting. And through portrait photography, I was able to connect to people in a way I never had. And through doing that, it actually transformed me. So it was really kind of cool. I kind of experienced it. And one day I realized, wow, this is changing me. This is why I'm doing this, because through others, helping others transform, I just got chills. It helps other people transform, and I can help them understand why it's important to be photographed. A lot of people get to a certain age and they're no longer photographed. There might be 30 years with no photographs. And when people pass, the first thing they do is look for pictures, right? That's important. It's important to be photographed. I got really good at doing what I do. And I was in a big photography group, and it's 33,000 plus photographers. And because my natural state of things is to do and then teach, I was just naturally mentoring people in that group. And because I was doing that so often, I got asked to be an official mentor. So I'm one of 9 mentors in a group of 33,000 photographers. We travel the world. I've been to Paris. We go to New York, LA, to help teach workshops. And that started out as just working with photography, teaching people photography. But I realized that my background was really needed for folks who trying to change their lives and their business. So it really moved over into personal branding. And I really focus that in personal branding quite a bit. If you remember nothing else about me, remember transformation, because that applies really across everything I do. In the business side of things with photography here, I look to work with businesses to help them change their brand. Through that transformation, it starts with images. How many, by show of hands, how many of you have a picture on your business card? Wow, okay. How many of you do networking or need to show trust in what you do for a living? This should be everybody, because this is networking. If you don't have your picture on your card, and I've just met you and there were 40 other people in the room, how good are the chances I will remember you? Not very good. That's the start of your brand. I have my picture, obviously, because this is what I do for a living. But this is the beginning of what I do to work with businesses to help them understand. You guys are all sitting here, only maybe 5 of you raised your hand. That's just your business card. Think about what it could be for the rest of your business. We're working as a team, several of us, on personal branding. I'm the photography side of that. So what I do is work with clients to understand what they're doing. A lot of you were entrepreneurs. There's a story behind your being an entrepreneur. Sorry, that's my own timer. And I want to help tell that story. So a good referral for me. I also do speaking engagements. If you can get me in front of any business group, I will talk to them about why personal branding is important. I've done a lot of talks at chambers of commerce, realtors, anybody who uses, if I can throw a rock and hit a whole bunch of you, if you're competing against a lot of people that do what you do, then they need to talk to me about why their brand is important and how I can help tell their story. So I hope you'll remember me. Thank you. Tammy Zurak at Depot Tug Studio.